When war rolled over Poland in September 1939, it was not just armies that clashed, but the weight of empires bearing down on the everyday lives of ordinary Poles. What followed was not merely a conflict of soldiers, but a crucible of suffering for millions caught between two ruthless occupiers, Nazi Germany in the west and the Soviet Union in the east. Poland was dismembered, its sovereignty shattered, and in the place of freedom stood the cold machinery of oppression. Yet, in the shadow of tyranny, the pulse of life never ceased, though it beat in pain and defiance. In the German-occupied territories, life became a daily struggle against a system designed to break both body and spirit. Cities, like Warsaw, became labyrinths of fear. Each dawn brought new decrees, Jews forced into ghettos, Poles expelled from their homes, and the very act of speaking Polish in public could invite suspicion. Food was rationed, yet starvation stalked the streets. The black market blossomed in alleyways and cellars, where desperate mothers traded family heirlooms for bread. Young men and women moved like shadows, slipping into the ranks of the underground home army, risking everything for a free Poland. Every knock at the door was a question of life or death. Was it a neighbor in need or the Gestapo? The countryside fared no better. Farmers saw their harvests seized to feed the German war machine, leaving their families hungry amid fields they once worked with pride. Villages burned in retaliation for acts of resistance. Yet even as fear seeped into every corner, the Polish spirit bent but did not break. Priests held secret masses, teachers defied the occupiers by running clandestine schools, and poets wrote verses in the dark, knowing their words might outlive the oppressors. Across the eastern borderlands, the Soviet occupation cast a different but no less brutal shadow. Here, the face of tyranny was cold and bureaucratic. Whole families disappeared in the night, deported to the vast Siberian gulags. Intelligentsia, clergy, and anyone deemed a threat to Soviet ideology faced imprisonment or execution. The soil itself seemed to mourn. Polish graves filled the forests of Katyn, where thousands of officers and intellectuals were executed in chilling silence. For those left behind, life became a matter of survival beneath the gaze of the NKVD. Yet even here, defiance simmered beneath the surface. Poles clung to their language and faith, whispering prayers where the ears of the state could not reach. Despite the divisions imposed by foreign powers, the Polish heart remained united. Letters smuggled across borders carried messages of hope. Families torn apart by occupation clung to fragments of normalcy. A mother baking bread, a father repairing a broken tool, a child scribbling dreams on scraps of paper. In the ruins of Warsaw, children played in the shadows of collapsed buildings, their laughter a quiet act of rebellion against those who sought to destroy the future. Resistance wore many faces. Some bore arms in the forests, ambushing German patrols. Others carried the weight of rebellion in ink and paper, printing underground newspapers to keep truth alive. Women became couriers, weaving through occupied streets with secrets hidden beneath their clothes. The risks were unimaginable, the price often fatal, yet courage was an unyielding currency. When the Warsaw Uprising burst forth in 1944, it was not simply a military act, but the roar of a nation refusing to be silenced. Though the city burned and the uprising was crushed, the spirit that ignited it never died. Through 6 years of war, Polish life under occupation was a relentless negotiation between despair and hope. Yet, even as boots marched through their streets and the echo of gunfire rang through the night, the Polish people held fast to their identity. They endured not as passive victims, but as quiet warriors against the darkness. And when the war ended, their spirit remained unbroken, a testament to the truth that no occupier, no matter how cruel, could ever fully extinguish the flame of freedom. Dziękuję. Like and subscribe, or I will occupy your house.